So here's George Will. So they're talking about immigration, and now it doesn't look like it's going to pass. And George Will also can't say the real reason why it's not going to pass, because the Republicans want to pander to racists a little more. That's what this is about, right? So George Will says, no. What you don't look at, what you got to look at, the important stat is what happened 5 Augusts ago when they tried to pass comprehensive health care reform. He makes the analogy of comprehensive immigration reform and comprehensive health care reform, and he says immigration won't pass because health care, what happened to health care 5 August, let's just listen to what George Will says.
Furthermore, don't look at July, look at August. 4 Augusts ago, Congress was in the comprehensive reform, that time of health care. The Republicans went home and the Democrats went home and held town meetings, and uproar broke out.
And then they went back to Congress in September and passed comprehensive health care reform. Great analogy, George.
That proves it.
Wow, you are a thinker.
This guy's giving glasses and bow tie a bad name. You
Yes.
can tell just by looking at him. He's the smart guy.
George,
It was the comprehensive thing. Anything comprehensive won't pass.
and you can understand how George Will makes that kind of observation with his head so far up his ass, right? That's
How does he do it? He can't see.
George Will, you know, he's considered the intellect, right, of the conservatives, right? He wears a bow tie. He does have the thing on. He has real hair, yet he still combs it like a toupee. So he is the intellect, and you know, he has a lot of analogies that might seem poorly thought out at first, but once you think about them for a while, they make you want to punch a wall.
So it works out.
So it works out.
Do you think he's ever gotten a woman like really hot? Find that hard to.
So George Will, that's such a bad analogy. So he's trying to say that because look what happened to healthcare, it passed. He's saying that comprehensive immigration won't pass because this passed. So he realizes, like, after he makes that point, that it's kind of, this is kind of a shitty point, and instead of finishing it in a strong way, he just kind of like, he kind of mumbles it away. You know what? I think even he realized what a shit analogy this was. Let's see it, and watch him mumble at the end.
Comprehensive reform, that time of health care. The Republicans went home and the Democrats went home and held town meetings, and uproar broke out. And when they go home this August, the Republicans are going to go to their town hall
before they go home.
And that's it. Yeah, I think that was stupid. That's right. When they go home this time,
They're going to go sailing.
Don't you get the feeling when he
Have a
started?
lovely time.
When he started talking about, well, you don't look at July, look at August. Didn't you get the feeling the rest of the panel was like, oh, Jesus, George.
Yes.
Here we go. Here comes another George Will point where he thinks he's really cut down to the base of it, the bare politics that you pedestrian folks don't understand.
They try to get that little fact that, oh, that's really interesting, George. Great point.
Also, who goes home and bases public policy on what happens at a town meeting? That's like basing public policy on YouTube comments. Yeah, you know? I mean, it's the lowest common denominator there. I mean, that is just a bunch of brown-hating, really, they don't know the immigration reform bill. They don't know that the CBO says it'll reduce the deficit and that every conservative economist says it'll stimulate the economy, it'll increase border security. Brown people are coming.
No. See, that's
and 10 years is just too short a period of time. They want
to lengthen their wait for citizenship.
Yeah, like until the rapture.
Yeah.
like then, feel free. Then they can all be citizens.
Yeah, I mean, if there's one constituency, Ben, that the House Republicans respect, it's angry racists.
Totally. Yeah, that's right.
Right?
They're in lockstep with them.
They'll be at the town meeting. They love a town meeting.
George Will does make a good point. I mean, nothing pisses off rank and file Republicans more than a government policy that helps everyone.
That's right.
Right.
It makes life better for our nation and our society.
No, you don't want that.
That